Hi everyone. In today's video, we're going to explore one of the most fundamental concepts in computing: storage devices. Specifically, we'll define what a storage device is, look at two types of storages, and understand the key difference between RAM and ROM. Let's start with a definition. A storage device is a hardware component that keeps data, information, and program instructions permanently. Think of it as the computer's memory bank. Anywhere information is saved for later use, that's a storage device at work. Now, not all storage works the same way. Computers actually use two different categories of storage, and understanding the difference is key. The first type is primary storage, also called main storage or immediate access memory. Primary storage is highly electrical with no moving parts, which is actually why it is so fast and reliable. But the speed comes at a cost. Literally, primary storage is expensive, so it isn't used to store everything on a computer. That's where the secondary type, which is secondary storage, comes in to fill the gap, and we'll get to that shortly. ROM and RAM. Primary storage itself splits into two types: RAM and ROM. Let's take them one at a time. RAM stands for Random Access Memory. It's temporary storage used for whatever you're actively working on right now. The important thing to remember about RAM is that it is volatile, which means that if you switch off the computer or the power, everything goes. ROM, on the other hand, stands for read-only memory. It's a chip or a group of chips that holds the instruction the CPU needs to start up and operate. Users don't usually get direct access to ROM. And unlike RAM, it is non-volatile, which means the information stored on it is permanent. It stays there even when the power goes off. So here's the core distinction to remember. RAM is temporary and loses data without power. ROM is permanent and keeps data with or without power. Now let's move to secondary storage. Unlike RAM, secondary storage device holds information on a permanent basis, so it can be accessed again in the future. Nothing is lost when you turn off the computer. You'll sometimes hear it's called auxiliary storage or backing storage. Look at some examples of secondary storage devices. Some everyday examples of storage. Secondary storage includes hard disk, optical disk like CDs and DVDs. Also flash drives and magnetic tapes. We'll look at each of these in more detail in a full presentation, but for now, the key takeaway is simple. Now, let us recap a bit. A storage device keeps data permanently. Primary storage, which are RAM and ROM, is fast but limited, with RAM being temporary and ROM being permanent. Secondary storage is larger in capacity and holds data long term even when the power is off. Thank you so much.